Your ex must lose you in order for you to have the best chance of getting back together with them. And we're talking about reattraction, and I'm going to explain how some of the things you can do that can cause your ex to feel like that they have lost you can be very powerful in reattracting them. Number one, a unique void created by you. Most breakups, though not all, but most of them will have one person wanting out and the other person wanting to keep the relationship and stay together. And that person oftentimes will get very emotional. There'll be a lot of crying. There'll be a lot of chasing, pursuing, begging, pleading, wanting to talk. And then when the other person does talk, it's extended on for very long periods of time, and it's made into a really difficult and emotional conversation. And typically the person just does not want to let go, even if it's just sitting at the table with them and they're just not wanting them to leave, even though the message hasn't changed that that person wants to break up. And so how you can really be unique is, yes, after the breakup, right after it, it's normal for you to say, I want this, or to ask them to reconsider. Those are perfectly reasonable things to do. But as soon as you can, when you start to realize you're not having any traction with this person, you need to pull back and disappear, because you want to be different than most breakups, because a lot of the times people can remember in most detail how it was after the breakup. All that drama and difficulty, maybe there was yelling, crying, and where the person actually just felt like they were being pestered by this person that they broke up with. That's what they will feel if you won't stay away from them. And so it's very important to, while understanding your own feelings, to also understand your ex's, and that your presence with them, while that may feel to you like you're actually making some progress, or you just get some relief because they're in front of you and you can see them and you know that they're not with anybody else, and you feel like maybe you can make some progress, that can really push them away and hurt what attraction is left. It really can. And so if you can grasp that and see that you're not making any progress, that they are doing what a lot of people do in that situation, where they're being, in their mind, they're being friendly, and they're letting it look like that they're going to talk this out with you, and that they're going to give it a try, or they're going to consider what you say, when all they're really doing is they're wanting to give you some kind of closure. They're wanting to look like that they're being a good person in the situation, but that their answer is still the same. They want the breakup. When you realize you're not getting anywhere with them, back off, disappear, create that void, so that when they start thinking about the relationship, most of their memories will be about the good times you had, because those will be the highest points and the highlights, and the most energy will be associated with those memories. Whereas if the breakup's difficult and dramatic and just won't end, or at least it seems to them like you just won't go away and you won't leave them alone, that will be the high point. That'll be the point that caused the most noise in their memory, and that's what they will remember. If you're different in that you back away sooner than people in their past and you disappear completely, that can be the difference maker, because they can remember the good times in the relationship and not just be worried that if they come back to you and they do change their mind and they have to break up again, that they'll have to go through all that drama. So you want to remove that hurdle, and you want to create that void where you are a unique situation to them, especially if they have a lot of crazy exes in the past or something like that, or people that they say are crazy exes. You know what I mean. But you want them to be able to think of the great memories with you and not have that terrible reaction as a hurdle keeping them from going to you, because they think they'll have to go through it again if the breakup happens again. And a lot of times you're not too late if you're watching my videos, because usually there hasn't been just an enormous amount of time spent with you trying to get them back. And it's never too late to do the right thing, and you never know, because if you back off, sometimes that can create pattern interruption and can still get a response and some thoughtfulness out of them. But either way, back away so that they can remember the good times of the relationship and not just see your breakup response as a reason not to give you another chance. Number two, don't give them closure. This is a big one. People want closure for themselves. They obsess over it, and a lot of times they just won't get it, no matter how many times they have a conversation about the breakup and the relationship with their ex. And what I'm telling you is, you should get closure from the fact that they're not even trying, that they just want to give up on you without even trying to work on it, that maybe their attitude is like, gotcha, you did this one wrong thing, or something they think is wrong that you may not have even intended for it to come across that way. And they're just backing away and leaving you, or they're basing the entire thing on their feelings, the feelings of the day, the feelings of the month, and they're just not feeling it anymore, and so they back away from you. That should be closure for you. That's all you need. that that is the reality of the situation. And by trying to get closure for yourself, you can oftentimes give them closure. One of the best ways you can handle this is by not extending the conversation beyond one after the breakup. And if you've done more than that, that's okay. Just stop now. But stop extending it. Stop letting them feel like they are actually getting closure by explaining all their complaints and grievances to you about how you were in the relationship, or giving you those BS excuses like they need to work on themselves, or it's just such a difficult time right now. Neither of which should disqualify a relationship, because a relationship is supportive in those things. But if you realize that that's what it is, just back away. Don't ask for them to explain. If they ask you if you want to talk about it, just say not really, because there's really nothing to talk about. And if you don't give them the satisfaction of getting to explain themselves, because really them wanting to leave you is explanation enough. I know it doesn't feel that way, but it really is. It tells you all you need to know about this person, unless they change their mind and their heart in a big way so that they can be a good partner for you. But if that's how they're going to leave you and break up with you, if that's all it takes, then that tells you what you need to know. But if you don't give them that closure and that positive feeling that they get when they explain themselves, so they can feel like that, see, I'm not a bad person. It's just I just need to work on myself so much. You know how it goes. You know all that stuff. You don't want to give them the satisfaction of getting closure. So accept a minimal answer from them, as though that's reason enough for the breakup and you're just going to go on about your way. It can be shocking because they will keep contacting you, wanting to talk about these things. And you may think, well, they're just wanting to get that closure, right? They're just wanting to feel good about themselves. There is some of that, but it can also create sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because they're watching themselves beg for your attention and chase you. And now it's like they're trying to get you. They're trying to get you to talk to them. And that can work very well, because you can start to create a dynamic where you are sought after, where they're wanting a piece of your time, and that you're just such a busy person. You can kind of really work with that. But the bottom line is, don't give them that closure. Let them feel like there's unfinished business between the two of you. It can oftentimes create a longing or an attraction. It can make them think back on the relationship and think about you in a much different way than they did when they were breaking up with you, because now they are actually the one seeking you. Even though it's in a slightly different circumstance, it can create the same types of feelings, because you can raise your value in that way. Before I get to number 3, get more information on my emergency breakup kit. It's a powerful guide that can help you get your ex back. It's at myexbackcoach.com. If you want your ex back, you need to get it. You need to watch the videos. It's really valuable stuff. And I get so many emails from people who have gone through the kit and they have been able to get their ex back. I can't say everyone will, obviously, but it gives you a great head start before you make a lot of the mistakes. Or if you've already made the mistakes, it can help you in those situations. And if your ex is reaching out and interacting with you, it can definitely help you to fully get back together with them and not just get that fade out that happens so often in these situations. It's the emergency breakup kit at myexbackcoach.com. Thank you for listening to my commercial and for your support. Number 3, set silent boundaries. What I mean is that when they start interacting with you some, and that's pretty common, especially right after the breakup, because they might need to get some of their things, or they might be checking on you because they feel guilty that they just abandoned you, and they're wanting you to make them feel better by telling them that you're okay. Things like that. What you actually do is you make your sentences shorter than theirs. And it seems like such a juvenile, basic thing. But what you want to do is you show them that since we're not together, I'm not going to interact with you in a way that says that I'm giving you the same value that I did when we were together. So you're not going to get as much of my time. You're not going to get as much of my words. There is a boundary now that you have put into place because we're not together anymore. You're not going to get the privileges of being with me. I'm not going to treat you like my lover, my partner, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, or my spouse. I'm going to treat you like you are just anyone else. And in this case, you're someone who doesn't want a relationship with me and really doesn't have a place in my life. So I don't have a lot of time for you. It's a little bit tough. And I'm not saying to ignore them. A lot of people get confused by this. You can ignore them in certain situations when they are really consistent with reaching out to you and it's not about important things. You can occasionally not respond to a text, but generally speaking, we just want them to know that they can get in touch with you, that it won't be just spinning their wheels. But if they send you a paragraph, try to send them back 4 or 5 words. And don't be cold with your words. Let the amount do the talking. But you're showing them that if they want out of your life, that that's what they're going to get, that you're not going to allow them to be in your life the same way if you two are broken up. It's that simple. Now, if they start making effort to be around you and they're really making effort to talk to you, you can warm up some, because they might be with their actions trying to get back together with you. And I'm not talking about that situation. I'm just speaking generally, that when your ex is reaching out to you about basic things and casual things, keep your responses short. Don't carry the conversation. Don't initiate. Let them be the one to initiate. They will know that. You know it. If they're only responding and they're not initiating with you and days go by, you knew that in the relationship. We tend to know that. They'll know it too. And it will help with this entire situation. And you can reflect back onto the points that I've already given about how that will help. Number 4, if you have mutual friends with your ex, first of all, do not talk to them about the breakup or about your ex. If they ask you about it, just say, I'm doing fine. Thanks, or I'm doing fine with that, thank you. Try to get away from it. The most you could possibly say is, well, breakups are tough, but I'm doing all right. Do not talk about it any further if you can help it, because they will get that information back to your ex a lot of times, and sometimes they'll even fill in some of the gaps with information that they think might be the reality. Like, I could tell, though, he was actually struggling, or something like that. So the less that you can talk to mutual friends about the situation, and even try to avoid them if possible, is good. But most of the time, you're not going to be able to avoid mutual friends, and you probably don't want to if they are truly mutual friends. And so what I suggest is that you actually do something a little bit strategic that can give a sense of pattern interruption. And pattern interruption can be just any change that causes a person to reevaluate how they view you, or to recalibrate how they view you. And in this case, you would be you. So what you would do is you would talk to this mutual friend about this new passion you have, or an old one that now you just can't stop talking about. And it seems like you're really focused on it, you're passionate about it, you're working hard at it, and it needs to be something that's somewhat productive. So video games is probably not going to be that. But something in life that is productive, that you are really passionate about, that's going well, that you've got a lot of focus on, you're putting a lot of time and energy into, and that you're excited about. That's what your mutual friend needs to hear, because if that's what they can tell your ex, and your ex is like, I don't remember him being that excited about that, or I don't remember her putting that much energy into that before, or anything like that, it can really get them to see you a bit differently, because the assumption is that you're just sitting around all day thinking about them, wishing you could get them back. But now it's like your head is turned another direction and you're focused on something else. And that can be so irritating and frustrating to them, because it changes that dynamic that was there at the breakup that says, hey, I'm breaking up with you, therefore I'm more attractive than you. You're in a lesser position, even if it's just by a little bit, because I'm just not motivated enough to be with you. And that's because attraction is less than it was. And if they start viewing it as, well, you're not acting like someone who's less attractive, because you're acting like someone who has passions and interests in life, and that's attractive. That's what attractive people do. And it doesn't have to be career-based or money-based, just something that you are passionate about and that you're putting energy into. It can be helping the homeless. It can be a sport, a hobby. It just needs to be something that you're passionate about and you're putting a lot of energy into, and that they can tell you're excited about. It will get back to your ex usually, and that's something that can really cause them to look at you differently than they did the day of the breakup. Before I get to number 5, remember my emergency breakup kit. It's at myexbackcoach.com, and you can also book a coaching session with me at that website. Number 5, don't contact them on special days. And I have a whole video about how you shouldn't contact them on their birthday, but this includes other holidays, like whatever they celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, summer solstice, anything. Don't reach out to them, because they have to know that they don't get the same privileges that they did when you two were together, and that you are moving on with your life as though you two are not together, because you're not. And they need to feel, they need to experience not being contacted with you on that special day, especially a birthday, because it's a statement that you have your life, that they're not part of it, you're moving on without them. That's how they feel like they have lost you. If you want your ex to lose you, you've got to let them see evidence of that. Please share this video with someone going through a breakup. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to this channel. Check out my website at myexpatcoach.com for the emergency breakup kit, free articles, and a way to book a coaching session with me. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.